So this was the go-home show to WrestleMania 40. One night before, it was kind of saved by that ending promo, was it not? This is WrestleMania SmackDown, just one night away. Would the excitement bleed into SmackDown the night before? That's the question we all had going in. Everybody in the wrestling community can now feel it. WrestleMania is upon us. Tonight certainly felt special, but not all for the right reasons. But does that mean it was an entertaining ride? Well, let's find out together. What's up, everybody? Brett Mix here to run down everything that happened tonight. So for the better part of the next 20 or so minutes, as always, chill, grab a drink, whatever you got to do to get relaxed. And we're going to take you through this SmackDown episode. We're going to review everything that happened and touch on every detail like my subscribers know. Just add a little bit of analysis to the side after talking about every detail. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. I'd appreciate that. We got Barrett and Graves behind the commentary table, as always, for SmackDown. And we also got Spanish commentary as well with the call. This is a big show, so we had Rodriguez and Soto at ringside as well. We kick things off with a shot of Mania pump-up video, as well as them putting the stage together at Lincoln Financial Field, literally just a couple blocks away from the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where the SmackDown, April the 5th, 2024, took place. One night before, it's WrestleMania SmackDown for WrestleMania 40, the night before. Owens kicks things off with the KO show. They have a special entrance for this show, 19,000 plus in Philly coming to this event, and they have one of these small screens for the entrance. Not sure why they made the entrance stage that way. I'm not sure if that's something they do for WrestleMania SmackDowns, but it was an interesting setup for SmackDown. I'm not sure why it didn't have the usual entrance setup. Owens gets a great pop in Philly as the crowd is just jacked for this night's event. They're all ready for Mania. A lot of the people in the crowd probably are going to WrestleMania. Owens says he's bringing out a legend, one of his opponents at Mania, Randy Orton. He gets a big ovation, of course. Owens previews this Sunday's night's three-way for the U.S. title, and how would they bond with their hatred of Logan Paul? A whole lot of Logan sucks chants throughout the crowd. Owens says on a scale of 1 to 10, how repulsive is Logan Paul? That's what he asks Randy Orton. Orton says this crowd is wrong. They're all chanting 10, 10, 10. Orton says, no, this crowd's got it all wrong. Logan Paul is an 11. Logan then interrupts saying he's building empires while you two are on the Kevin Owens show. Paul says that they're like toddlers in a sandbox. Some of his insults were a little bit lame tonight. Usually he has better ones. Owens says, you know what? He sounds loud for someone a block away. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Orton says, I am thinking what you're thinking. And they both leave the ring to presumably go get Paul at the Lincoln Financial Field. Whereas Waller and Theory were under the ring, obviously trying to be a part of some hijacking to the Owens show in favor of Logan Paul. That was the plan, but they left underneath the ring to go find them. And they're seen going in a golf cart in the back while Theory and Waller are chasing after them as the crowd laugh. Entertaining start to the night. Does a little bit of build for WrestleMania. Can't ask for much more. There wasn't a lot of content. Just a little bit of a comedy segment. That's about it. And it built towards the feud. So not terrible, but not exactly the one night before WrestleMania opening segment that you might wish for. Like I say, we got saved by that promo at the end of the night. That was something towards WrestleMania, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So more to come as they chase them down in a golf cart. And we kick the show off with Andre the Giant Battle Royal. I made predictions earlier this week. People should check out that video. It's on the page. It's the video just before this on the channel. I picked Andrade to win as my 14th match prediction, as this one counts towards my WrestleMania predictions. 13 WrestleMania matches, and this is the 14th one. I counted this one, and I picked Andrade, and I'm not even sure if he was in the match. I was taking notes during it, so I might have missed, but I'm not even sure he was in it. I thought that they said on Raw that he was going to be there for the Judgment Day, and he was going to win the Battle Royal. That's why I picked Andrade, but I'm not sure what I watched now. I have to rethink what I saw Monday. Maybe they didn't say that, or maybe he was in the match and he just got eliminated and they didn't say it. Either way, I missed something here, so my pick of Andrade is wrong. However, and I'm not one of these guys that just says, oh, I was going to pick him, and then it sure enough is the winner. If you would have given me a second chance prediction, I would have picked either Bronson Reed or Ricochet, and it ended up being Bronson Reed, right? So at least there's something there, but officially my predictions for WrestleMania will now be 0 for 1. Again, my Survivor Series predictions were perfect. My Royal Rumble predictions, I got, I think, like 4 out of 6. And we'll see what I get for WrestleMania. But I'm 0 for 1 now with that pick. Omos coming in was a favorite. He got a TV entrance, and obviously big men. That's why it's called the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Big men usually win it. Andre won almost every one he was ever in. Omos throws out Wilson, and then Elton Prince went out for Pretty Deadly, and he eliminated himself as the crowd laughed. Drew carries it rather than being thrown out on his own. Angel Garza has been eliminated. Mahal, the only former WWE champion, the Battle Royal, gets eliminated. Some frequent eliminations, which is good for the Battle Royal. Usually it's a lot of men in the ring just slugging it out and trying to throw each other over the top rope slowly, and it never happens. They stayed away from that. They made this one fly with some good rhythm. It was frequent eliminations, and it helped the match. The Creeds eliminated Indus together simultaneously. Omos eliminated himself while taking out both of the Creeds. Ivar, Reed, Ricochet are all favorites in this one as well. JD eliminates Ricochet. Tozawa throws out JD. That got a big pop. Fans just love it to hate JD McDonough. Otis, Reed, Ivar, and Tozawa are the final 4. 3 of the final 4 are big men. Reed, you got to think, is the favorite now. That's what I said coming in. Tozawa in my notes before he won the match, so there's proof right there. Tozawa got thrown out of the ring on his neck. That looked nasty. The referee, I think it was Charles Robinson, checked on him right away. Tozawa landed literally right on his neck. I hope he's okay. It was an awkward landing. I don't know if it was on his neck. Now that I think about it, it was just an awkward landing, but it might have been on his neck. That's just what I remember, his head being subject to injury. So we'll see what happens with that. Ivar and Reed are the last 2 in there. Ivar with a big spin kick to Bronson Reed. They had a mini feud on Raw a few months ago. Ivar on top with a doom salt. Bronson Reed picks up the win. Shame I didn't get a second pick because I picked, as I went into earlier. This Battle Royal flowed well. No slow moments at all. Gotta love that. I gave it 2 stars. So being a little bit considerate, I gave it 2 stars. I liked how it flowed. I think that's the way you got to do Battle Royals. Always eliminating somebody. Somebody should be always getting eliminated. If there's that many people in there, somebody should always be getting eliminated. Not Royal Rumbles. Don't book Royal Rumbles that way. But Battle Royals, yes. Absolutely. That's how they should be booked. As they show the Bloodline and Reeve, they also show Logan Paul being back in the arena now. So he's back in the arena. He's not in the Wells. He is in the Wells Fargo Center. He's not at Lincoln Financial, the Dome. There's a dark promo previewing the Philly street fight from the Final Testament on night 2. I could see that match opening night 2. I see either the tag ladder match or Jay versus Jimmy opening night 1. That is assuming that they wrestle on night 1. I believe they do. Logan Paul says, "Good evening, those in South Jersey or Philly, equally as trash," as he's on the microphone. So we get another segment with this Logan Paul feud. When I look in the crowd and see people like you or all of you, they're all idiots. And of course, you idiots cheer for Owens and Orton, who are all dummies. You're all dummies. They got me wrestling 2 of the dumbest dudes, says Logan Paul. Paul then criticizes Owens' weight again and Orton's size of his head. Paul says he's playing 4D chess and a game of cat and mouse. Right now, his associates are in the Dome. Paul is shocked to see Owens and Orton underneath the ring, as they're being warned, as Logan Paul took a good minute to turn around and see that Randy Orton and Kevin Owens were underneath the ring. Logan Paul goes to go out, but Orton attacks him, and he's eventually hit with the RKO and a stunner. I did predict Paul in my predictions to retain the U.S. title, and he doesn't get the good beat down to end the feud. He gets beaten down instead, so that further cements my belief that Logan Paul will be retaining the U.S. title by some force. Theory or Waller, probably. He'll get help from somebody, and Logan Paul will steal the U.S. title. That's how they'll say it. Michael Cole will say he stole the damn match, or something like that, right? Even though he is the U.S. champion. But I believe he'll just retain it some way. Backstage, Dragon Lee has been assaulted. The new LWO member, including Carlito, is backstage trying to get help. Next up, we got LWO's Zelina Vega with Rey Mysterio to take on Elektra Lopez with Santos Escobar, Dirty Dom, and Andrade. She's making her debut as Elektra Lopez. This one was very short, to say the least. Back from a commercial, Lopez in control early. Vega turns the tide with some kicks, corner to knees, cover for two. Zelina has it won, but Dominic distracts the ref. Elektra takes advantage of this, and she wins by pinfall after a powerbomb. Post-match, the heels beat Rey Mysterio down, but Andrade turns on them. He's with Rey. Andrade is not with Legado del Fantasma. He's with Rey. Gave the match a half a star, and we move on. Naomi, Bianca Belair, and Jade Cargill come out to cut a promo on Damage Control, their opponents for Mania. These women aligned by a common enemy. That match is one that takes place tomorrow. Bianca and Naomi point to the sign. Can they stop that, please? Bianca gives, I'm talking about everybody doing that. Can we please move on from that? And if we do it, can it just be like at the Royal Rumble when the winner does it? Bianca goes over her history with Damage Control. Now everybody's pointing at the damn sign. Soon the cameraman's going to be like, look, honey, that's what I'm filming tomorrow. That match is one that takes place tomorrow. Bianca and Naomi, and they get to the point. They introduce Jade Cargill as their partner. The storm is coming as she shows off her new entrance with the storm coming down. From the angle they shot her up north in the dark, it looked like Trish Stratus. She had a cowboy hat and blonde hair, so it looked like early school Trish Stratus. But then when the lights went on her a little bit better, we realized she's not white, so it didn't look anything like Trish after that. But that's just how it looked from the big opening shot. The Storm, the Glow, and the EST, the big three. Why there is no Damage Control. They all say that at the same time. They thought that was kind of catchy, I guess. Jay says backstage, so decent promo by the three ladies. Jay says backstage his brothers will have it ready for them tonight at Mania when Solo goes down when they presumably Jimmy. Philly says yeet. New Catch Republic get a new entrance theme. They take on Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller with a unique offense from the Aussie Icon. This is the match of the night, which isn't saying much, but it's still match of the night. Aussie Icon onto the floor by drilling bait onto the apron. Unique offense. Austin Theory with a jumping blockbuster and instinctively went for the cover even though he wasn't the legal man. Tyler Bate shows amazing power by suplexing Grayson Waller by holding him in the air for a long period of time. Dunn gets the hot tag and then the bruiserweight comes in with drop kicks and enziguris. A German suplex and another snap German. Dunn with the fingers to Grayson Waller as he's bending them back. Theory came in with a drop kick. Waller with a high knee to the Bate, then beats him to the punch on the floor. Dunn with a big forearm connects. New Catch Republic win with the burning hammer and the victory. This was pretty good. 2 stars and a quarter. A good match, but the entire Judgment Day then show up, and the tag champs take out every tag team they can in a prequel to their tag team ladder match at WrestleMania 40. They're one of their teams, the New Catch Republic, and Theory and Waller. Those are both teams in the ladder match. So the Judgment Day are making sure everybody knows who the champions are going through. We get Devil Inside by JD, Dirty Dom with a frog splash, then the South of Heaven, a chokeslam by Damian Priest. Before the coup de grace to Austin Theory by Finn Balor. The Judgment Day look dominant going in as Rhea Ripley and the whole Judgment Day stand tall. They do a good video package next of Io Sky and Bayley for Mania, showing the whole last year of build and the return from Damage Control. Then LA Knight comes out and we get some more build towards Styles and Knight feud. LA Knight is mega over as he stands in the middle of the ring with shades. Knight says, does he think AJ's phenomenal? Well, he's phenomenal at not showing up, and he's phenomenal at running away. He says this Sunday you should be thanking him because he's going to make him relevant. The megastar is ready for Styles on the grandest stage of them all. A decent promo and a very basic one. Knight accidentally fumbled on his words by having gum in his mouth. Apparently Graves says that's why you don't chew gum while you talk on the microphone. But he got his point across and he recovered and he did it his way. So a very LA Knight typical promo, which is a good thing. But it didn't really expand. It was pretty basic. Main event of the night was Solo Sikoa versus main event Jey Uso. So at least when Jey Uso's wrestling, he is in a lot of main events, I've noticed. So they want to keep that part of his name. This is the 4th of the 4 matches that were on the night. So when I said the other tag match was the match of the night, it's not saying much. That's what I meant. This match didn't feature a lot of great wrestling. It didn't have very much wrestling at all. One reason I'm glad Mania season will be over is this cross-brand stuff. Jey Uso was a Raw wrestler. But hey, it's all good because it's WrestleMania season. Graves asks Barrett if he's on Team Yeet or no Team Yeet. A belly-to-belly slam and then got chucked into the mid-air, but a series of thrust kicks sending Solo down. Dodging a Samoan spike, he hits a super kick, and then a spear by main event Jay. Uso splash, but Jimmy comes in and breaks up the match, and it's a DQ. Give it a 1.5 stars. That does it for the match portion of the show. After the match, Jimmy and Solo beat down Jay and Cody, and beat down Jay, I should say, and Cody's name was chanted by the crowd. Him and Rollins, then his music hits, and him and Rollins then come to the rescue to the huge pop. Biggest moment of the night. To end the night, they have the place come unglued when Cody and Rollins send a message to the Bloodline with belts, this time of their own, as they whip apart the Bloodline members. A strap shot, and Cody hits the Cody cutter, and Rollins goes for a strap shot to Jimmy. Solo down, and then an Uso splash as the good guys stand tall. Cody gets on the mic and says, 40 years of WrestleMania. Can you feel it? Talk about the pressure. Myself and Rollins are going to slap the final boss like he's never been, and on Sunday I will dethrone the tribal chief Roman Reigns. And he ends with, when one great story ends, remember, an even better one begins. So a great segment leading into WrestleMania 40. I felt we needed that extra oomph to certainly end the WrestleMania 40 go-home show. But if both Rhodes rivalries, I felt they needed some more oomph, and we got that at the ending segment. So overall, was this show good? Not really, but it wasn't really bad either. Definitely the weakest SmackDown of the past month. It was just a missable show. You wouldn't miss much if you missed it. That's a bad thing usually. The first hour and 50 minutes were all pretty forgettable, but other than the Owens and Orton stuff. And for a go-home show to WrestleMania, that's not a good thing, but it did hype Mania. It did do it in an overly compelling way. It just featured a lot of video packages and commercials. I rate this show a 5 out of 10, and that would be being polite. I mean, the night just featured video packages again and promos. No memorable matches, just a pretty decent tag match with the New Catch Republic. Solo vs. Jay is the biggest attraction they can think of a night before the biggest event of all time. Well, they're calling it one of the biggest, or the biggest WrestleMania of all time, and there's no event bigger than WrestleMania. So if this is the biggest WrestleMania of all time, then that means it's the biggest event of all time, because WrestleMania is the biggest event. So if this is the biggest WrestleMania ever, then this is certainly the biggest show ever. And it's one night before it, and your main event is Solo Sikoa versus main event Jey Uso. I don't know, man. I think they could do a little bit better than that. It was saved by the last ending appearance, though, that's for sure. It just wasn't all that captivating until that point. Yeah, we've seen all this before. It was more Mania build towards a show where we've gotten tons of that the past couple months. It did make you want to watch WrestleMania right away, so they could have moved on from the same old stories that they've been showing. But it did put a nice closing stamp on a few feuds tonight until the main event when Cody Rhodes came out. The LA Knight promo was good that they gave him time to shine. No Styles on the show, and again, there was not enough big stars on this event. It was obviously saved by Cody and Rollins at the end, but before that, there was no Roman, no Rock, no Styles. It would have been rounded out better if we got some appearances by those guys, but they were in the area, they were in Philly, so why not, right? Cementing the fact, by all means, we will have a new champion Sunday night after watching that Cody Rhodes promo. I, again, wouldn't be shocked if Roman did get the upset, and it's weird saying the champion's going to be the favorite, or they're not the favorite, and they would be an upset. But if it happened, I wouldn't be like Brock Lesnar, Undertaker, WrestleMania 30 shocked. I would just be shocked. But at the same time, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Cody is definitely winning, especially after that promo about new story beginning. So that those are the people that complain about Roman's reign ending. People can remember, well, a new story is beginning. That's what they can say. So that's why that solidified Cody Rhodes winning the title. That last line, in my opinion. So it's Mania time, and the first WrestleMania for me on this channel. So it's a new thing for me. So I'm excited for that. So that being said, I hope everyone enjoys the show tomorrow night and Sunday night, and then comes back here for those two subsequent reviews. I'll be doing my first WrestleMania on the channel. So WrestleMania Saturday tomorrow, obviously about an hour after the show. WrestleMania Sunday about an hour after the show. So I'd love if everybody came back and we went over everything that happened with some analysis and some match ratings and see how some predictions do. If you want to list your predictions, feel free to do it in the comments section to this video. And that's it, folks. Out SmackDown for April 5th, 2024 from Philly's Wells Fargo Center. That's the go-home show to WrestleMania 40. Was it captivating? Not really, but it did a nice job putting the final bow on some feuds, and the ending segment saved the show from being a dud because Cody and Rollins really needed that extra oomph to add to WrestleMania 40. We had the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. LA Knight spoke a few words. video packages, and then the Orton, Logan Paul, and Kevin Owens thing. So WrestleMania 40 is here. We're all excited. Be sure to check my review for the more from that. As said, stay liked and subscribed and notified. I'm Brett Mix. We'll see you tomorrow night for WrestleMania Saturday. I'm out.